Hi students, coming to the next class is prokaryotic cell structure. See, we are discussing about ultrastructure of prokaryotic cell. In the last classes, we are discussing about what is prokaryotic cell. Pro indicates before, karyote indicates nucleus, the cells which are not having nucleus. Exactly in that cells, nuclear membrane is absent. So that cells are considered as prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells are unicellular organisms. Prokaryotic cells are unicellular organisms. All prokaryotic cells are included in Monera, kingdom Monera. In 5 kingdom classification, all prokaryotic cells are included in kingdom Monera. So we know about bacteria. Bacteria cells are very small size. In the last class also we have discussed 3 to 5 micrometer size is there, but these cells we are unable to identify by our naked vision. We need a equipment. Microscope. We need here microscope. Within microscope, if we observe the cells, then we can identify the bacteria. Then the first identified living cell is the bacteria. Right? Anton van Leeuwenhoek did the research. So this is one of the prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell is nothing but here bacteria. Within bacteria, different parts are present. So this is one of the bacteria structure. See, the total bacteria parts here can be divided into two parts. Total bacteria cell parts can be divided into two parts. One of the part is called as cell envelope. And one of the part is called as protoplast. In the last class also we discussed cell without cell wall is called as protoplast. See here, cell envelope. Here cell envelope means whatever the parts which are present outside to the plasma membrane. All these structures are called as cell envelope. Structures. See, within bacteria, the outermost part, this is the outermost, the black color dotted like structures, here indicates glycocalyx layer. Whatever the bacteria cell is there, very outermost structure, the black color dotted like structures are there. This structure is called as glycocalyx layer. Inside to that glycocalyx layer, there is a cell wall is present. And inside to the cell wall, there is a plasma membrane structure is present. The blue color line indicates here plasma membrane. This is also called cell membrane. And there is a long hair like there is a long hair like structures are there. Or suppose this is the bacteria. In certain cases, there is a very long hair like structure is present. This is one of the long hair like structure. This structure is called as flagella. Right? And along with that flagella, some of the bacteria contains hair like structures, but these are not long. These structures are called as pillars. See, again, pillars are two types. We'll discuss. Here there is a long pillars are there and short pillars are there. Long pillars are called as sex pillars and short pillars are called as fimbriae. See what I am telling, within envelope there is a long hair like structures are there. The long hair like structures are called as flagella. Other than flagella, some of the structures also present, which are also included in cell envelope structure. See, these are long structures, these are called as sex pillars, and some are short structures, these are called as fimbriae. So this is one of the cell envelope. Within cell envelope, glycocalyx layer is there, the very outermost structure of the cell. This is called as glycocalyx layer. After that, inside the glycocalyx, there is a red color structure is there. This indicates cell wall. And inside to the cell wall, there is a blue color structure is there. The blue color structure is called as plasma membrane. Within cell envelope, glycocalyx part is there, and cell wall is present. pili structures are present. This is the pili structure, this is the pili structures. Again, pili are classified into two types. Pili are classified into two types. After that pili, there is a long hair-like structures are there. These are called as flagella. These are called as flagella. So here flagellas are long hair-like structures. Here pili are needle-like structures, short and long needle-like structures. That is about the cell envelope structure. That is about the cell envelope structure. And coming to the next one, protoplast. Cell without cell wall is called as protoplast. Cell without cell wall is called as protoplast. In the last class also we discussed, there is a plant cell is there without cell wall. The remaining part is called as protoplast. This is the bacteria cell. If we remove the cell wall, the remaining part is called as protoplast. That protoplast contains plasma membrane. Inside of the cell wall, there is a plasma membrane structure is there. Inside of the cell wall, there is a plasma membrane structure is there. That plasma membrane mainly involving maintenance of aqueous environment inside the cell. The plasma membrane involved in the maintenance of aqueous environment inside the bacteria cell. That is nothing but whatever the water molecules are present within the cytoplasm, all these water molecules are maintained by the plasma membrane. If plasma membrane is absent, the water molecules are leaked from inside the cytoplasm. If cell loses the water, the bacteria cell will be die. So the plasma membrane majorly involving maintenance of aqueous environment inside the cell. That is about the plasma membrane. Right? Within plasma membrane, some of the folded structures are there. Within plasma membrane, some of the folded structures are there. The folded structures are called as, here the folded structures are called as mesosomes. The folded structures are called as mesosomes. See what I am telling here, this is one of the plasma membrane. Exactly this is the point, this is the folded structure, and this is the folded structure. The folded structures are called as mesosomes. The folded structures are called as mesosomes. Mesosomes are involving respiration process. So within prokaryotic cells, within plasma membrane, there is folded structures are there. That folded structures are supporting for the gases exchange, intake of oxygen, and releases the carbon dioxide. So this is one of the mesosome structure. There is an intake of oxygen molecules and releases the carbon dioxide molecules. See, the unicellular respiration and multicellular respiration is quite different. Best example, within the human beings, we have that nose, larynx, pharynx are there, and the bronchus is there, bronchioles are there, and there is an alveolar tissue is present, and alveoli is there. Finally, that alveoli supporting for the gas exchange. So there are many number of organs are joined and performs the gaseous exchange gaseous exchange. But in prokaryotic cells, especially these are unicellular organisms, a single cell performs all the functions. Respiration done by single cell, digestion done by single cell, locomotion done by single cell. So all functions are performed by single cell. See, that is the greatness of unicellular organisms. So that is about one of the plasma membrane. Within that plasma membrane, there is a mesosomes are there. That mesosomes are supporting for the gas exchange, right? And see, I forgot to explain about one of the flagella structure. Any bacteria, most of the bacteria are having flagellas. Some bacteria also not having the flagella, but majority of the bacteria are having the flagella. So this is the long hair-like structure, that flagella supporting for the locomotion of the bacteria. That flagella supporting for the locomotion of the bacteria. So, sir, what is the use of bacteria movement? For suppose some of the bacteria try to collect the food material. So, see, this is one of the bacteria. And this is the food material. How bacteria moving from here to here? If bacteria having flagella, by the help of flagella, the bacteria moving towards the food. Direction. So always the flagellas are very helpful. For the locomotion. Right? That is about the flagella. So we already discussed about that protoplast. Within that protoplast, we have discussed about the plasma membrane. We have discussed about the mesosome. And the last part, that is the cytoplasm. Remember here, there is a protoplast. Cell without cell wall is called as protoplast. Cell without cell wall and plasma membrane generally in eukaryotic cells are called as protoplasm. In eukaryotic cells, cell without cell wall and plasma membrane is called as protoplasm. But I mentioned here cytoplasm. See, this is the prokaryotic cell. This is not eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell, nucleus is present. But here nucleus is absent. Cell without cell wall and cell membrane and nucleus. If these three parts are absent, if these three parts are removed, the remaining content is called as cytoplasm. The remaining content is called as cytoplasm. Naturally in prokaryotic cells, nucleus is absent. So that's the reason why we need not to mention about protoplasm. Directly I mentioned here cytoplasm. So there is a cytoplasm is there. That cytoplasm, within that cytoplasm, there is a nucleoid is there, ribosomes are there, inclusion bodies are there, gas vacuoles are there, plasmid is present. I discuss. First one is nucleoid. What is nucleoid? Any cell, either prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell, contains the genetic material. Here prokaryotic cells also contains the genetic material, but the genetic material is naked, which is not covered by, that genetic materials are not covered by any nuclear membrane. Any nuclear membrane. That's the reason why this is called as nucleoid. The bacterial cell contains main chromosomal genetic material is called as nucleoid. That nucleoid is also called genophore. That nucleoid is also called genophore. See, that is nothing but DNA. That is nothing but DNA. The prokaryotic cells contain main genetic material is called as nucleoid or genophore. Okay, that is about what is the use of nucleoid or what is the use of genophore. Simply we know the use of DNA. The uses of DNA. See, that DNA transfers the characters from one generation to the another generation. One generation to the another generation. Last time also I said most of the students, everyone. Okay, me also, including everyone. See, maybe we are having our father characters, or mother characters, or grandfather characters, or grandmother characters, right? Because genetic material sharing from one generation to another generation. That's the reason why we are having our parental characteristic features. We are having parental characteristic features. So the DNA supporting for the sharing of characters from one generation to another generation. Right? That is about the nucleoid. And coming to the next one, ribosomes. Within prokaryotic cell. See, within prokaryotic cell, this is the nucleoid, right? Within prokaryotic cell, there is an, here I drawn red color dots. Red color dots indicates ribosomes. Red color dots indicates here ribosomes. Always in prokaryotic cell, 70S ribosomes are present. Always in prokaryotic cell, 70S ribosomes are present. See, 70S, S is indicates here Svedberg units. S is indicates here Svedberg units. In eukaryotic cell, 80S ribosomes are there. S is indicates here Svedberg units. Right? And this is also considered as sedimentation coefficient. This is also considered as sedimentation coefficient. Right? So here 70S ribosomes are there. Okay, in prokaryotic cell. What is the use of ribosomes? See, the ribosomes are always involved in synthesis of proteins. That ribosomes are always involved in synthesis of proteins. So within prokaryotic cell, cytoplasm, always 70S ribosomes are present. That ribosomes are involved in synthesis of proteins. Involved in the synthesis of proteins. Right? That is about the ribosomes. And next one, inclusion bodies. Inclusion bodies are nothing but storage food material. Inclusion bodies are nothing but storage food material. In our body also, we stores the food material within liver. Okay, what we are eating, that starch is converted into glucose. That glucose is stored inside our liver in the form of glycogen. In the form of glycogen. Plants is the best example. Plants also stores the food material in the form of starch. In the form of starch. In bacterial cells also, there is a storage of food material takes place in the form of inclusion bodies. The storage food material within bacterial cells are called as inclusion bodies. After that inclusion bodies, the bacterial cell having, there is a small bubbles like structure, very small bubbles like structures are there. These are called as gas vacuoles. The gas vacuoles are only seen in bacteria or prokaryotic cells. That gas vacuoles are supporting for the floating of bacteria. For the floating of bacteria. Most of the students have the doubt how bacteria are floating in the air, how bacteria float in the air, or how bacteria float within surface of the water, right? How bacteria floating on the surface of the water, how bacteria floating within the air, right? So because of the gas vacuoles, gas vacuoles are majorly supporting for the buoyancy of the bacteria, right? That is about the gas vacuoles. Last one, plasmid. See, this topic is very important. Generally, I already said what is plasmid. Plasmids are extra chromosomal, double-stranded, circular DNA molecules. Plasmids are extra chromosomal, circular, double-stranded DNA molecules. See, within that prokaryotic cell, here, this is one of the plasmid. That plasmid, this is double-stranded, circular, extra chromosomal. This is the main genetic material. This is extra genetic material. So these are called as plasmids. Plasmids are playing very crucial role. We'll discuss what are the types of plasmids are present, right? And what are the significance of plasmids, right? We'll discuss in the next video, right?